Okay, another quick build update here. So you'll see I've fed the tracks through, and these are like one piece plastic kind of rubber tracks, and the idea is that they kind of clip together, and you can hopefully just about see, if we can get the focus, which we can't, at the end there's two holes and you clip them together, but they don't stay together very well, and this is the second time I've had these. I do prefer them to look painting, because trying to paint tracks and wheels is an absolute nightmare. But I have attached this side. It is a bit floppy actually, but when you set the tank down, or not the tank, the assault gun down, it kind of closes up bigger, and it's okay. Now, I did speak to Mark, my nephew, about this, and we said, how do we fix these tracks? And I think we've both tried gluing them with various glues, and they don't really stay together very well. So I actually did a bit of a search, and the Airfix website gives a bit of a tip, and there's two things it says you can do to attach these tracks. Number one, it says you can staple them, and apparently that works quite well, and you don't really see the staple, and I guess you probably wouldn't. If it's like sat down and the staple's on the bottom, you wouldn't see it. The other thing that you can do if you didn't want to staple them, it says you can heat up a screwdriver, or I suppose a set of long nose pliers, heat them up using a candle or some kind of burner, and then you can basically melt them together. And that's actually what I've done on this side here, and it's turned out pretty nice. So I'm going to go ahead, I've got the candle lit, the room is smelling lovely, and I've got my long nose pliers, and I'm going to heat them up, and I'm going to try and melt this together. Then it'll be a case of putting the decals on, a little bit of paint touching up here and there, and then we will be able to do a completion video, which will probably be the second half of this one. I'll get a few of the other models out, and we'll compare size, what it looks like, things like that. And there you go, if you can make that out very quickly, I've just melted that together. That won't just focus, sorry. I've melted that side together, and it's staying pretty nicely. So nice and easy, no more glue, just a bit of melting with a hot screwdriver as recommended by Airfix, or some pliers. Okie dokes, it's reveal time then, gentlemen. The decals are on, the paint is done. So let's get her in and hopefully get her in focus. So here we go. Here is the Stug III 75mm assault gun. Focus all over the place as usual. So there we go. Yeah, nice little build. Came together really quick. Paint slopped it on. I think it looks pretty nice. Got the gun barrel in silver there. I've taken to on the bottom, just making a note of what they are. Normally I use a decal that comes with the kit, but when I used it, it totally fell apart. All the letters fell apart, individual letters on the decal sheet. So I've written that. It's not overly pretty, but it just helps me remember what it is. Let's, as I've done in previous videos, we'll do a little bit of some comparison with some other ones. This is what I mean about using the decal, but that was all individual letters. So here is a Panzer IV sitting next to our Stug gun. So fairly similar size actually. Obviously this is an assault gun, this is a tank, rotating turret. This is just a fixed up and down movable piece of artillery. Always nice to bring in for something like this the mighty Tiger, which I've done previously, and this is just an absolute monster compared to these two. I mean, it's massive compared to anything else. So there's the Tiger, and while we're here, we may as well bring in, there's the Sherman that we've got. Ooh, don't break the Sherman. And then we've also got the Cromwell, which was, I think, the first one I did. So we're getting a pretty nice collection of tanks. I do have another one. When I say tanks and assault guns, I do have another one. And while we're here, I did go ahead, for people who have watched the latest or the previous build, I did go ahead and mount the Focke-Wulf on a little wooden plinth. So the Focke-Wulf is sitting there as well. Let's put that at the back so it's not in the way. So there we go, that's a little bit of recent modelling update. There's the Stug III gun, there's the Focke-Wulf previously done. We'll see what's next.